Forgive me for interrupting what I know are some great conversations that are taking place at the various tables. My name is Craig Cobain. I'm the Executive Director of the Mahuron Honors College, and I get the great fortune of not only getting to know your sons and daughters and the great work that they do, but I also get the MC the evening. So I want to welcome all of you to our December 2021 graduation banquet, where we get to recognize some absolutely fantastic scholars. And of course, I want to say congratulations to the class of 2021. Let's give it up for the class of 2021. That actually was pretty good. I think we can do a little bit better. Let's give it up for the class of 2021. I think this time of the year and this time of your educational experience, you think back about the time that you have been at the Mahuron Honors College at Western Kentucky University, and you think about the people who have made a difference in your life. You think of teachers, professors, guidance counselors that helped you get here. You think of your academic advisors, the Mahuron Honors College team, internship opportunities, classmates who were there for you when you were having a bit of a down day. But I also want to make sure that we remember and think about the support networks that are a bit closer to home. Parents, siblings, legal guardians, family. So let's give it up for the people who made it possible for us to get here. Let's give it up. Scholars. This is your parents we're talking about. I think we can do a little better than that. Come on, let's give it up for the families. Many of you are probably aware that this is my 16th year at Western Kentucky University, and I was hired directly to come in and build the Honors College, and it's been a singular honor to have this opportunity. When we started in 2005, this event, we had 9 graduates for the whole year. 9 graduates. We had about 150 students in the then honors program. Through fantastic work, and I'm being pretty frank. I get a lot of congratulations. How did you do it, Craig? My gosh, I see why you have all the gray hair. But really, who built this college is the scholars. The ability, when you think about when you were being recruited by the great honors recruiting team or the WKU recruiting team, you heard stories of what students in the honors program, the honors college, and now the Mahuron Honors College, what they'd accomplished over the years, what our alums were doing, the law schools, the med schools, the graduate programs, the amazing things that they're doing. And that's what you saw, the possibility of what you could accomplish. I want you all to realize you are now part of that history. You're now part of that legacy. And we will be talking about the things that you accomplish and the things that you will succeed at doing. Not a part of something I was planning on saying today, but today 2 alums surprised me out of nowhere. I was preparing my remarks, turning in my grades, taking care of some other university business, and someone comes in, one of my team members comes in and says, someone up front who wants to speak to you. And it was one of our alums who is going to be finishing his master's degree at Georgetown University this year and is guaranteed a job in the State Department. And he just kept saying, could not believe where he started in public housing here in Bowling Green, the opportunities that he received, and he says, is there anything we can ever do? Just let me know he wants to help. Another one, she's graduating with her master's degree tonight. She's been in the U.S. military for about 7 years and been all over the world in harm's way, and she was telling me some of the stories of what it was like to be a 21-year-old second lieutenant in Afghanistan. The first week she was there being shelled, going, what the hell was I thinking to go into the military? And she's going to be going up early for major. She'll be one of the youngest majors in the U.S. Army, and she's heading to Italy later this week. I tell these stories because these are the stories you're going to be able to tell. And I know you don't believe me now, but we love hearing them. We in the Honors College love hearing these stories. Your faculty love hearing these stories. You don't always understand it as an 18 or a 22-year-old, but we invest a great deal of our emotional energy, not just our professional energy. And my colleagues say it all the time, God, I wish I knew what this alum was doing. So I ask you, and I'll do it again at the end of our event, stay in touch with us. Let us know what you're doing. We are invested in you. and we want to continue to stay in touch with you. So at that, before we transition, I do want to ask if we would all take a moment of silence. Every year we have honor students that we lose way too early in life. We have friends of the college, friends and family that we lose. So I'd like it to all of us to just take a moment and remember the people that we've lost that can't be with us here today. Thank you. So as I was making my way around the room asking people, what's the next step, law school, med school, dentistry school, I think we have 5 individuals who are graduating this semester with their bachelor's degree and are in the JUMP program, joint undergraduate master's program, and so will be staying on the Hill to complete their master's program in the spring. But a really great set. We got some people going out to New York City to work for JP Morgan. We got people going to Disney to work at Disney and start a career at Disney. We've got some people working for the state of Kentucky. We've got some really great placements. You guys are doing amazing things. I definitely plan on going to Disney. See if you can get me a behind the scenes to the Star Wars area, please. Just playing that out there. I can't control your graduation, so it's not a bribe. So, each year we pick one of our graduating seniors to give a talk for all the graduates. And what I do is I go to the Huron Honors College team and I say, you guys know who's graduating this year. Give me an idea. Who's the person who should be the one individual to give the talk to represent the entire graduating class at tonight's event? Trust me, that's a pretty vigorous conversation that we have, because this room is full of individuals. Every one of you could be the person who comes up and gives that talk. But unfortunately, we can only choose one. So this room is full of future leaders, future academic scholars, international travelers, agents of change, people who are going to make a difference in the world. We can only pick one of you. So as I introduce our speaker today, I want to remind you, again, all of you, any one of you could be the person who is up here. And with that, let me talk about the individual who will be coming up. Probably I don't need to say a lot about her because she has been in the local paper, she's been on the local news. She was selected this year to be the Ogden Foundation Scholar of the Year, which is Western Kentucky University's version of the valedictorian of the class. It's a competitive, you have to have a 4.0, you have to put together an application on what you've done in the community, what you've done to sort of personify Spirit Makes the Master, W.K.U. Creed, and we like to say in the Honors College you also personify the ascent to excellence, which is the Huron Honors College. This Ogden Scholar of the Year, our speaker tonight, has studied abroad, has done an internship with the Federal Reserve, has done an internship with JP Morgan in New York, has been a leader in multiple aspects throughout her campus experience. And with that, I would ask Zena Pear to come to the podium.
Hi everyone, thank you so much. Scholars, families, friends, and guests, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. And congratulations to each of you scholars on your graduation. It's such an exciting time. So excited to celebrate it with you all. From submitting our honors application to taking Honors 251 to now celebrating together, we have been supported by the Huron Honors College over our undergraduate experience. And together we pursue academic coursework and professional experiences, study abroad, extracurricular involvement, and research opportunities. But beyond all of these academic or professional endeavors, what I know is true for many of us is that the Huron Honors College has given us a sense of community. Within honors, we've each pursued our own interests and had our own unique experience, but the common kind of thread that is binding us is that we are part of the MHC. The people make any experience, and the scholars of the MHC are who have created such a strong honors community that makes graduation bittersweet. We've studied in the Honors College International Center late at night. We've bonded with classmates in our honors classes, and we've developed friendships with our hallmates in Southwest or Minton. I know personally I've lived in 3 residence halls and 2 apartments, on a ship, in a cloud forest in New York City, and at home. And for many of you, you've lived in a sorority or fraternity house, or in a castle or almost castle in England, and many other places. But as NHC scholars, wherever we have been, we've been able to connect with other visionary, motivated peers who want to make the world a better place and have big dreams. Or they just wanted early class registration, either way. We've also snacked on midnight pancakes during finals week and taken early morning walks with Dr. Cobain and staked our claim for study rooms during finals and midterms. And we've seen numerous changes and challenges, from moving residence halls to experiencing a global pandemic. And through this, we've become more resilient and adaptable. Through all of this, we've also become friends who lead and serve in our communities and on our campus. And together we have pursued our capstone experience or thesis, and we've challenged each other to become the best versions of ourselves. Whether traveling the world or flopping in an HCI sleeping bag to study, the NHC has given us the space to grow and develop. We are what makes the NHC the vibrant community that it is today, and one that I dreamed of when beginning college. Since freshman year, many of my dreams, if not all of them, have materialized, and I am so grateful for the NHC's support in helping this happen. And just like many of you, I have waved my red towel across the world, led campus organizations promoting causes I'm passionate about, and challenged myself to pursue research, applications, and so much more. Thanks to the NHC, I feel we've expanded our view of the world, its people, and our responsibility to it, and along the way, we also created our own community. And I hope we continue to challenge ourselves, and that we are excited to pursue our next steps in the professional or academic world, building on how we have changed and grown. Thank you to the NHC staff and faculty for your endless commitment to the scholar experience. In one of my favorite books, Anne of the Island, in the Anne of Green Gables series, the characters are reflecting on what they learned in college, and one of them sums it up by sharing, "There is so much in the world for us all if we only have the eyes to see it, and the heart to love it, and the hand to gather it to ourselves. So much in men and women, so much in art and literature, so much everywhere in which to delight and for which to be thankful." This quote accurately summarizes what WKU has emphasized to me and what I hope to carry with me after college. Once we become alumni, I encourage you to remember this community and to stay in touch with the NHC and the scholars that are its future. As we continue on our journeys, whether to begin work, to pursue further studies, or to explore the world, may we take with us the spirit of engaged excellence. Thank you again, congratulations graduates, and as always, go Tops.
Thank you, Zena. And let's give it up one more time for Zena. This is the time where I get an opportunity to say some remarks, some things that I would like to pontificate on. And my team tells me I talk too long, and I don't think I talk long enough. But this year I decided to do something slightly different. And I want to thank Dixie Mahurin, who is here, for allowing me this opportunity to read off an application letter that her husband Pete wrote for his very first job. So Pete and Dixie have had a phenomenal life together. We lost Pete here just a couple of months ago, and it's been a very difficult time for all of us. He's been a great loss to the college, obviously to Dixie, and to myself as someone who respected and needed his wisdom on a regular basis. But during this sad time, I was made aware of this letter, and I thought, as always with Pete, there's great wisdom that he can pass along. So I'm going to read through this, and then partway through, I'm going to excuse you scholars to go line up, because you're going to want to hear the rest of it, and you're not going to hear the rest of it. So that's kind of forced you to come back to get the rest of the story. So this was a letter that Pete wrote to Hilliard Lyons, which is an investment company here, national, but has an office in Bowling Green, that he wrote on September 19th, 1967. Let that sink in. 1967, September 19th. Dear Mr. Moore, I am writing concerning a job opening in the finance field. My name is Peter Mahurin, age 29. White male, I am in excellent health, not having missed a day's work in 5 years. I neither smoke nor drink. I am a high school science teacher with 6 years of experience. I am also in the wholesale egg business on a small scale with 1 full-time employee and a gross of nearly $200,000. In today's currency, that's about $1.6 million. Now, first of all, graduates, he's got a side hustle. All right? He's got his job as a teacher. He's changing people's lives, but he's got a side hustle. Good advice right there. I graduated from Caneyville High School in 1954 at the age of 15, entered Western State College, Bowling Green, Kentucky. My college years were wilder than most. After being in and out of school, I graduated in 1961. I'm not going to do the math, I'll let you guys. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry and Biology and a total of 6 hours in economics. During my time out of school, I worked as a steeplejack, painting water towers. I worked in grade schools and as a high school teacher, and I played poker for a living. However, I made the decision to quit poker and have not played in 6 years. Think about writing this in a letter of application for a job, okay? I will give you some of my assets and liabilities. I like the use of the terms there, applying for a job in finance. I will give you some of my assets and liabilities, and if you're interested, we can meet some night on a weekend. First, my assets. I am quick to learn. I have followed the world of finance for 10 years. My favorite pastime, when in a town large enough to have a branch of the New York Stock Exchange, to go in and watch and listen. Think about that. Think about that. Self-educated himself, went out of his way to not expect someone else to make his education happen, to do it himself. I am interested in business and business people. I can sell. My egg business is 3 years old, and like all businesses, highly competitive. I expect to work, and I like to work. That's a pretty good asset to have. I am dependable. I will be at work on time and not half asleep. There will be no clock watching. I can and will do things on my own, not requiring or expecting constant supervision. I am polite, and I get along well with people. Self-starter, high emotional quotient. I am married to an attractive 24-year-old preacher's daughter with an IQ between 140 and 150. She is a former high school math teacher and now guidance counselor. We have no children. At that point, he switches over to liabilities. At this point, I am going to excuse our graduates so they can line up. If you'll head to the door over by Zach Ryle. We'll let you guys get lined up. As they're leaving, parents, you're going to be asked for advice when it comes to, I'm getting ready to apply for this job or that job. I don't know this, and Zena's parents are here, but maybe Zena asked for some advice for mom and dad who are here tonight about applying for some of the internships she's applied to. You guys are important, so it's important that you remember these assets and liabilities so you can help your children write the kinds of letters they need to write. Now, for my liabilities. I have no rich or influential friends or relatives that I can bring to your firm. No business in that sort of manner. My background is rural, and I'm not into country club set, the golf set, etc. What's more, I have no intention or desire to be in it. The only organization to which I belong to is my church. I'm poor at remembering names. I can see that may be a handicap. He's certainly telling us he's honest. I have never owned a share of stock in my life. However, my financial position is not bad. My wife and I make about $20,000 a year, and we have a net worth of $25,000, all of which we have made ourselves. I plan to continue in the egg business and will devote part of my time to it. I need $9,000 per year to start. I might consider a slightly smaller starting pay if the opportunity is present for advancement. Thank you for your time and your consideration. Peter Mahurin. How many of you think that letter would be successful in today's world? It's a great letter. It's honest, it's forthright, it hits the right notes. I get to see a lot of letters of application in my world. I don't think I've seen any quite like that. So, as the graduates are lining up, just want to remind each of you that the program that you have lists all our graduates, the things that they've accomplished, the awards that we give out annually. We give out each of the honors awards in the May commencement, but all graduates today are eligible to be part of the award ceremonies that we'll be doing in May. You get a chance to see where the class of 21 has studied abroad, some of the jobs last May and this group have accomplished. A bit of history of the Mahurin Honors College and the people who made this event possible. Most of all, parents, I want to take a moment and thank you. You have many opportunities and many options where you could send what is the most important thing in your life, your child or your children. WKU does not take that responsibility lightly. And we appreciate that you chose WKU for your children's education. You're the only one who can really make the decision if it was the right decision for your children. But as I look at the things that these scholars have accomplished, the things that they've done over their last 3.5, 4.5 years, it's really quite amazing. In this group, and I in my mind I think this regularly, is this the class that produces the next Pete and Dixie Mahurin? Is this the class that produces the individual who's going to work in a lab and cure cancer, HIV, produce WKU's first Nobel Prize? We had some Pulitzers, not in writing, but in photojournalism. This is the kinds of abilities and hopes we have for each and every one of you. And I know it's difficult at 21 and 22 to understand some of the things that I said earlier in regards to staying in touch, coming back. Please encourage them to do that. You know, as parents, oftentimes throughout your raising them, you thought to yourself, do they hear a word that we're saying? They are listening. They are hearing. They're just not admitting to it. So please continue to give them the good advice that you have given them for 21, 22, 23, 19, whatever age your scholar is. To be completely honest with you, the lining up is taking a few more minutes than I expected. I do. Some of your kids probably know this, that when I was in grad school, for stress relief, I did stand-up comedy. That's what I did in grad school. So at Go Bananas and the Funny Bone, I did stand-up. So I hope they're not going to expect that I'm going to have to pull out some jokes and start doing some stand-up. I don't think I'm quite as funny as I used to be. So why don't we continue and with the next phase of our program? And with that, let me invite Mr. Zach Ryle, who's the Assistant Director for in branding and enrollment management, my bad, and with, who is also an Honors College alumnus. Zach?
All right, now comes the fun part where you get to see your students walk across the stage, and we get to introduce each of the December graduates individually. So they'll come in from your all's right, my left, across the stage here, meet with Dr. Cobain, get a picture, and then they'll get their certificate, and then they'll be free to come back to the seats afterwards. So there will also be some slides up, so you'll kind of see that as we go. So to start, our first graduate, Koji Barnaby. Margaret Becca. Anna Brodzik. Victoria Bucklew. Emily Caldwell. Mark Clark. Sean DeRosset. Allison Florence. Chandler Flint. Ashley Gilbert. Emily Jacobson. Ahmed Kamaluddin. Delaney Langston. Maggie Lewis. Madison Limlingen. Juliana Lowe. Emily Marshall. Sarah Mathis. Megan McCormick. Frankie Nee. Eliza Norman. Zena Pear. Lauren Roby. Carly Upchurch. Emma Grace Vaughn. Haley Weber. Jessica Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, your class of 2021.
Great job, Zach. Let's give it up one more time for our graduates. Because I know you're tired of hearing from me, I'll try to keep this as short as I can. I'd like each and all of our scholars to be mindful of the support that they have received over the years. Turn to your left or turn to your right and say thank you to your parents, family, support networks, the people who have made this possible. Take a moment and say thank you. Tomorrow, as you're going through commencement, you'll have a chance to see many of your faculty and staff and administrators that you've worked with or have helped you. Make sure you go out of your way and tell them thank you. We all know how difficult the last 4 years have been for each and every one of you as we've worked our way through the challenges that the world has given us in higher education. It has been also equally hard for faculty. So make sure you give them the shout out that they deserve. When you get an opportunity, do what I'm going to do and say thank you to the Huron Honors College team. They work very, very hard to have an event like this and make sure all the experiences and opportunities that you guys have over the last 4 years. And personally, they make me look really good. I know it's a difficult job, and I appreciate all you guys do. Thank you. And if you see any of the members of the Augustine Alumni Center staff, they're the ones who helped with the setup and making sure that we had the food, so make sure you tell them. We say this at every one because one of the things that we see the Honors College does is more than just provide small classes. It does more than provide priority registration. We see that it's also trying to teach life lessons. Gratitude. To those much is given, much is expected. Saying thank you. These are the sorts of skill sets that are going to serve you well throughout your lives. Oftentimes I am asked to help mentor young up-and-coming administrators or mentoring young alums. And I say this, and sometimes my faculty colleagues aren't totally thrilled with the way I phrase this, but my experience is true. I don't use a lot of the stuff that I learn day to day in my undergraduate classes and even many of my graduate courses. I'm a full-time administrator. I teach once in a while. But I do use the things that I was taught by my faculty when I was in their office, talking during office hours, that I learned from the assistant director of housing as I was a resident advisor for 3 years, that I learned from the sponsor of student governance as I was a student senator for multiple years as an undergraduate. Those sorts of soft skills, the EQ side, are the things that I learn each and every day. And we have tried throughout your 4 years to help you see the value of saying thank you, to acknowledging that other people helped you have the success that you're having today. And we hope you continue to do that. And that's part of my reoccurring theme of staying in touch with us. You know, staying involved because, I don't know if it's confidence or just craziness. We think we still have lessons that we can teach you guys. We still have things that we can help you be successful as you move along. As we end the event tonight, let me just end on a couple last things. One, we have a series of yard signs, is that the proper term? Yard signs that say graduates, Huron Honors College graduates of hashtag MHC21. I think my lovely assistant, Zach, will hold one up for everyone, all right? There's one of those for each and every one of you. We hope you'll take them. Also out in the lobby, we have a very lovely backdrop for the Huron Honors College. If you're looking for the ideal place to make that family memory and take a photo or two of your favorite Honors College staff person or faculty member who may be with us today, there's your opportunity. We hope you take advantage of that. Look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. Graduates, you're now joining an ever-growing Huron Honors College alumni base of now over 2,500. So we're proud to have you be a part of that. And each and every one of you has taken a different path to get to where you are today, and your path will continue to be diverse, interesting, challenging, and I have no doubt, rewarding. And unless my team tells me I've forgotten something else, with that, we will close tonight's ceremony. Great job, everyone. Go Tops.